you think I would have gotten to be your wife someday, Jean-Tan?
ओह माय गॉड! मुझे ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है कि मेरी सब चीज़ें काम कर रही हैं और बिना लैग के। नाइस। अब जल्दी से एक चीज़ टेस्ट किया जाए। बूम। क्या दिखा? दिखा। नाइस। अब यहाँ पे दिखा। ओ। ओके। नाइस। तो एवरीथिंग इज इन ऑर्डर। गुड टू सी, गुड टू सी। सब कुछ सब कुछ ठीक ही लग रहा है देखने से। ओवरऑल। हम्म। सो हमारे चीफ गेस्ट का इंतज़ार हो रहा है अभी। चीफ गेस्ट खाना खा रहे हैं। वो चीफ गेस्ट जब खाना खा लेंगे, अब अरे, मुझे लग ही रहा था डेस्कटॉप ऑडियो नहीं आ रहा। इसलिए ये सब चेक करने के लिए अभी देखना पड़ता है। अब इसको कैसे किया जाए? ये बूम। डेस्कटॉप एप्लीकेशन। ओके। नाइस। एक सेकेंड, ये तो गेम सीन में भी नहीं होगा फिर। अच्छा, तो यहाँ पे एक अलग इशू है। यहाँ पे इशू है ये। आई सी। तो ये लेते हैं। इसको हम कॉपी करेंगे। कॉपी कैसे करते हैं? कॉपी एंड देन पेस्ट। कहाँ पेस्ट हुआ? ये रहा। नाइस। ठीक है। अब बस जो एक और चीज़ चेक करना है वो है डिस्कॉर्ड रिएक्टिव इमेजेस एंड देन वी आर गुड टू गो। हाँ। डैम। ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है बहुत जूम्ड इन है? जूम आउट। जूम आउट। जूम आउट। नाइस। बेटर बेटर बेटर। गुड जॉब, गुड जॉब। हाँ। व्हाट इज द एस्टिमेट ऑफ चीफ गेस्ट अराइविंग? पता नहीं भाई, देखते हैं। चीफ गेस्ट जब तक आएंगे तब तक होपफुली सब खत्म ना हो जाए दुनिया में। मुझे तो अभी ये देखना है कि परफॉर्मेंस कैसा है। पर मैं ये चेक भी नहीं कर सकता। मैं कैसे चेक करूं? ऐसे चेक करता हूँ। मैं कंटिन्यू कर सकता हूँ। ओके। तब मैं नहीं कर रहा। मैं भी कंटिन्यू कर सकता हूँ, वाह। ये अलग है। यम 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 यम। मुझे तो कंटिन्यू नहीं करना है अकेले। देखो जरा। ऑलराइट, जब तक चीफ गेस्ट आते हैं तब तक क्या किया जाए? अ, अम, क्या किया जाए, क्या किया जाए? दिमाग में कुछ आ नहीं रहा। मैं तब तक क्लियर ऑब्सक्योर खेल नहीं सकता क्योंकि वो बहुत हैवी गेम है। अम, ओ हाँ, मुझे इसका आवाज़ बढ़ा देना चाहिए ना। 8। अरे, अरे माफ़ कर दो। हाँ ठीक है। ये क्या ज़्यादा आवाज़ हो गया ये? ज़्यादा आवाज़ हो गया ये, थोड़ा सा कम कर दो। 6 पे रहने देता। 6 पे ही बढ़िया था। हाँ 6 पे ही बढ़िया था। नाइस। क्योंकि वो ग्रीन पे होगा और फिर एनीवेज मैं क्यों एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ ये। मैं पहले ये देखूँ कि हर जगह सही चल रहा है कि नहीं। यहाँ पे देखा जाए, स्मूथनेस तो लग रही है। आई थिंक इट इज स्मूथ। यप। अब ट्विच देखा जाए। अरे, मेरा दिमाग खराब बैकग्राउंड में चल रहा है। ऑलराइट। ओह, ट्विच। नाइस। ब्यूटीफुल ब्यूटीफुल नाइस। नाउ देन, क्या किया जाए, क्या किया जाए, क्या किया जाए? um, uh, नाम कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा, क्या करूँ? um, कुछ क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ अपग्रेड करने को बचा है। सारा ऑडियो वगैरह आ रहा है। अच्छा हाँ, ये देखता हूँ मैं। क्या कहते हैं उसको, साउंड अलर्ट्स। साउंड अलर्ट्स होपफुली चल रहा हो। कैसे चेक करूँ मैं? ये रहा। ये क्या था? एक्सेस मोर टूल्स इन मॉड मेन्यू व्यू। नहीं चाहिए, मुझे चाहिए अभी साउंड अलर्ट्स। ब्र। नाइस। ये हुई ना बात। हाँ, ये एक चीज़ है जो कि ठीक करना है। साउंड अलर्ट बजा तो वो चैट में क्यों दिखा रहा है? कम ऑन ब्र। वो चैट में मतलब ऑन स्क्रीन चैट पे नहीं दिखना चाहिए। ये गेम सीन में होपफुली अच्छा दिख रहा हो। नाइस 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 नाइस। जब स्टीम से है तो ई अकाउंट में क्यों क्यों लॉग इन करूँ? नहीं चाहिए मेरे को, नहीं करना। ये ब्लर्ब क्या है? ओह, मुझे नहीं पता था ब्लर्ब क्या है। एनीवेज, साउंड इफेक्ट्स रन। रन। नाइस। और क्या चेक कर सकता हूँ मैं? और कुछ चेक करने को नहीं है, छोड़ो। किसी और का स्ट्रीम देखूं क्या मैं बैठ के अपनी स्ट्रीम पे? दैट इज गुड यूजेज ऑफ टाइम। दूसरे लोगों का स्ट्रीम देखो। गुड जॉब। हाँ, मैंने एक और चीज़ जो नहीं किया जो मुझे कर लेना चाहिए। ईएन। अच्छा, डन। नाइस। इससे कुछ फर्क भी पड़ता है? आई हाईली डाउट। आई हाईली डाउट, आई हाईली डाउट। मेरा माइक अनम्यूटेड है ना? ओह, और क्या और क्या और क्या? विजुअल ग्लिचेस तो रहेंगे, उसका कुछ नहीं कर सकता मैं। और किसका स्ट्रीम देखूंगा? किसी का स्ट्रीम देखने को नहीं है। तो ये इतना जूम्ड आउट है ना, इतना जूम्ड आउट है। नाइस। इसको अगर मैं ऐसे कर दूं तो कैसा लगेगा? मीन पर बहुत कम दिख रहा है इससे। वही क्या चाहिए? यस, मैंने एक एक्स्ट्रा चीज ऐड कर दिया। यूट्यूब पे वो करने का कोई पॉइंट नहीं है। यूट्यूब तो ऐसा है जैसे कि सारा रिकॉर्डिंग सेव करने का जगह है वो। मुझे वो करते हुए बड़ा दुख होता है, पर ठीक है। इट इज़ अ रिकॉर्डिंग स्टोरेज to store all your recordings. Oh, ये क्या हुआ YouTube? Hello YouTube, why are you glitched? Weird glitched thing. Glitched YouTube. छोटा है, दिखाई भी नहीं देगा क्या लिखा। ऐसे ही रखो। Never mind. How do you zoom? Is there a way to zoom? Uh, damn, dropped frames 300. What? इतना ज़्यादा dropped frames? God damn. Who cares? If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, ठीक है. Close to dockable icon. चलो YouTube टाइम पास किया जाए तब तक. Let's do YouTube time pass. How do we do YouTube time pass? To get copyright. Let's go. Wow, window capture. Chrome. Where is Chrome? Google Chrome, where are you? अरे C D E F G. Yay. Then bonk. We. इसको let's keep it here. Boom. Beautiful. Let's go. The internet.
Hello, guys and gals, me Mutahar, and ladies and gentlemen, I think the internet is absolutely going to die or collapse sometime this year, and I'm not being an alarmist about it, ladies and gentlemen. One thing that I was playing lately was Black Ops 2. You know, I thought it was Metal Gear Solid 2 that would actually predict the future, but it's actually Black Ops 2 that was the game that predicted the AI future. The AI and fake imagery and the fake news that people always like to talk about, it's pretty much a reality in this universe, right? And a lot of it comes from literally people using artificial intelligence all the time. Okay? It's AI-generated slop everywhere. And it makes it so that believing anything you see on the internet is completely difficult. Now, of course, Black Ops 2 is a great game, and I thought maybe it would be fine if it was just a game, right? Back when I was younger, 2012 playing this game, I was like, it can't be reality, but it is. So one of the things that I saw, like a couple of years ago was actually this post. It was a Yahoo News article, and it said something pretty alarming. According to this Alexandra Garfinkel, okay, back in 2023, one of the experts that they asked said, I think we might reach 90% of online content generated by AI by 2025. So this technology is exponential. I believe that the majority of digital content is going to start being produced by artificial intelligence. Now, of course, you know, this moment in time, like, I would probably think, oh, it's just a joke. It's like a ha-ha funny. But it's really not, okay? One of the most popular sets of videos that I found on a TikTok channel known as Impossible AI. So they're pretty much honest with it. This channel sort of came into fruition a few, like, days ago, I believe. Already got 136,000 followers. And if you're looking very carefully, each and every single one of these videos has received millions upon millions of views. And I think it was like Charlie had actually mentioned it too, but there was like even the most popular videos on YouTube. A lot of them are actually just AI videos that have basically been watched, I guess, by millions, if not hundreds of millions of people. So what do these videos kind of look like? Well, let's watch one in particular.
वाह हैं I mean ये तो obviously है यार पर ठीक है okay I don't get the point what is the point
You know, raw dog my ass, ladies and gentlemen, but I think I'm excited by ASMR stuff. Now, ASMR is one of the most popular categories of videos on the internet. And what you just saw here was ASMR glass fruit cutting, okay? So obviously these are not real fruits. They're not real at all. But it seems like for millions upon millions of users, they just love watching this shit. This strawberry one in particular got 21.3 million plays on TikTok. It's actually insane how viral this shit has gotten.
Nice.
So let's say they're part of like the TikTok fund. They definitely made, from what I understand, a pretty healthy penny off of a goddamn VO3 subscription that cost them like maybe $100, $200. I have to check the exact subscription price, but it's an insane return on investment. And you know, I don't know if like the people watching these videos are even human beings or not, but obviously even the creators like, yeah, it's AI generated stuff. And even though one person's like, I hate AI, I'm in love with AI ASMR. And of course, you know, you got one person who's like, don't stop, I'm close. It's like 88,000 nutters on this dude. It's crazy shit. Now, of course, it's not just this. Obviously, with AI now like replicating voice patterns and speech, you've even got Yeti Boo, which is an original Yeti vlogger. So move aside, Bigfoot, you've got yourself an entire Yeti with almost 500,000 followers. I mean, if you think that the internet content creation pipeline is cooked at all, you don't know the half of it, okay? So listen to some of this shit. It's insane.
Dinesh.
Interwebs. It is I.
कभी भी Yeti AI देखा है? This is Yeti AI. This is Yeti AI.
Build a fire with me and let's hear it crackle.
You know what? Don't stop. Oh, I'm close. But
VO3 भाई VO3 यूज करके लोग व्यूज ले रहे हैं oh anyways
of course, you know, you ever watch that movie Planet of the Apes? It's like you don't really even need to like hope for a sequel to that movie franchise. By the way, great movie franchise. But you can just basically ask VO3. You can ask like any of the big AIs. Just make me more, just make me that Planet of the Apes sequel, okay? You can make like 1 million prompts, stitch that shit together, and boom, you've got yourself a banger video. In fact, why do we even have to talk about it? In fact, there's people who are making history visualized by AI on YouTube. I want you to watch some of this. It's crazy.
All right, guys, we are headed to Troy right now. We've been trying for 10 years and we still can't get in. I'll let you guys know if anything happens. All right, quick update. The Trojans seriously locked it down. We're gonna regroup, figure something out. I'm gonna see if there's another way we can get in.
So I've been thinking it through. I was thinking if we hide in something and tell them it's a gift, they'll let us in. The only thing I have to figure out is what that something is.
You know, bro, honestly, like when I was growing up, we learned about the Trojan horse in like history class and shit. But nowadays, kids will probably learn it in like a way where it's more accustomed to their Zoomer brains. I don't know if this is good or bad for learning, but holy goddamn shit, the future is absolutely cooked. If you thought like the whole fucking idea of going under the pyramids with all that AI slop footage was bad enough, You can absolutely generate even more accurate looking underground pyramid exploration videos now with the power of a lot of these AIs out here. What's actually really insane is some of these like videos that I've seen AI generated of like big
glass fruit cutting ASMR. Glass fruit? Glass fruit?
Celebrities like Sydney Sweeney and like Drake teaching people how to do mathematics, and apparently it's gotten like 5 million views over like 2 days. So clearly people just consume the AI stuff. Now obviously from a consent perspective, I'm sure none of these people were interviewed about teaching math, okay? And while this is a noble pursuit, the thing that always freaks me out a little bit is how easy it's gotten to just get anybody to say whatever you want. Now in part of this video, I played a clip that was actually entirely AI generated. And the way that I went to do this is I actually went to a third-party platform, signed up for a free account, fed it one little video, fed it not AI generated, but like an actual voice sample of me, and within like an hour it actually generated a 5-second clip for me to use in my video. Now I'm sure that content creators can probably figure out ways to use this to do some post fixes in their videos, but I would imagine that there's a lot of people that are willing to use this kind of content just to absolutely make people say things that they probably wouldn't be saying otherwise if it wasn't forced through artificial intelligence. There's a real problem with deep fakery, okay? And we're not even close to addressing or really even fixing it going forward. Yet this technology keeps rapidly advancing. So there's a lot of people that are making AI content, and obviously a lot of these places are like AI mills that buy a subscription to these services. They constantly just like pump out 10, 20, 30 videos a day. One of my favorite YouTube channels, for instance, is something known as like Niles Red or Niles Blue, at least when it comes to YouTube shorts. Like I watch a lot of the YouTube shorts, especially when it has to do with like explosive chemicals or like piranha solutions. Now, it's not so different from content like hydraulic presses. They used to really be all the rage back in like 2017, 2016, still is to this day. Now, obviously, here's the big thing, right? To make those videos back in the day, you had to, for instance, buy a fucking hydraulic press. Or in the case of Niles Red, you have to, have a fun personality. You have to be able to purchase some of these chemicals and have the knowledge to put them together and show reactions. Now, going to the hydraulic press example, let's just say you're somebody who, wants to make hydraulic press videos. So are you going to go in the world and buy a hydraulic press? Which, let's look at the price for it. So a 100-ton hydraulic press could cost you anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000, okay? And of course, anything more than that, maybe $20,000 to $50,000. Now, if I look up VO3 price, okay, for instance, if you look very carefully, it's apparently around $250 a month. So I'm going to let you do the fucking math over here. Would you rather put a crazy investment down or would you just pay $250 a month? Especially considering that it seems like even the audience doesn't give a shit about this. Now, this video isn't about like fake AI content. I don't think that's really all that matters. What starts to matter for me is the wildly illegal uses that this AI stuff is for. And so this is where it gets to a really scary point. Now, obviously, with some of this AI stuff, one of the things that I didn't really talk about, but I guess I should, is that back in 2024, a pedophile by the name of Justin Colmo ended up admitting to creating thousands of illegal images of children taken at an amusement park in at least one middle school using a version of an AI model Stable Diffusion, according to federal agents who presented the case to a group of law enforcement officials in Australia earlier this month. Colmo has been indicted for a range of CSAM crimes in Florida, including allegations that he actually abused real people. But he was not charged for something like AI CSAM production. Now, obviously, at the time, this was a little bit different. Now, there are actually people being hit. The point of it was that he went to a public place like Disneyland, where a bunch of children were walking around, had a video of them, or maybe photos, right? People sometimes take public photos or videos in public environments. And sometimes it can be innocuous, like some photographer wants to test their abilities on, live subjects, right? Or sometimes it can be really sick, disgusting stuff, like this individual using it for illegal purposes. Now, obviously, this is a huge problem, and it's one thing that I didn't want to walk away from this video and not at least mention. One of the other things that I started seeing floating around was not just the illegal uses, But obviously when it came to like misinformation as well too, a lot of the internet is now covered with AI nonsense, and if we're gonna go with the vector that like 90% of the content on the internet by this year alone is gonna be AI generated, I mean, you know, when we talk about things like the dead internet theory, and I've talked about it like months ago, but the dead internet theory is not a theory, it's actually quite a reality. As you all know, year over year, a lot of internet traffic nowadays is starting to happen with like actual bots or AIs or synthetic actual like, traffic, as opposed to actual human beings engaging with the internet as it was initially designed for. So when it comes to videos and photos, this image that I saw coming out of like war like side of the internet that's discussing actual warfare, was like an image of like what appeared to be an F-35 jet. Now, can you determine what the problem with this image is? If you can't determine the problem with the images, look at the scale of the people, look at the scale of the actual environment, and then just look at the scale of this F-35 jet. There is no fucking conceivable way, from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, engineers at Boeing, Raytheon, or whatever, that a jet should be that fucking big. I don't even think you can generate the fucking thrust to get that off the ground. I don't even know if that's VTOL capable, which from my understanding, fighter jets kind of are, okay? This is a blatant lie. But it didn't stop the lie from being shared around the world, especially in war TikTok, where misinformation is actually a fucking serious problem. Misinformation can lead to serious actual implications. Like, people are walking around believing everything that they see, even though the generation of AI video assets and audio assets have become so routine and easy that even if you don't have access to these subscription services, but you're sitting on hardware, you can generate this stuff at the comfort of your own home. Now, even in this video alone, in the first, 10 seconds, I used an AI asset generation tool in order to create, a commentary, splice of me talking. Now, I'm sure if, I'm probably going to wager that 99.9% of you guys figured out that it was actually AI, because it fails to capture my actual...
No.
Hello, guys and gals, me Mutahar, and, ladies and gentlemen, I think the internet is... that they so routine where you can generate this stuff 10 seconds. I used an AI asset. Now, even in this video alone, in the first 10 seconds, I used an AI asset generation tool in order to create a commentary splice of me talking. Now, I'm sure if I'm probably going to wager that 99.9% of you guys figured out that it was actually AI. The internet is missed about it, ladies and gentlemen. One thing that I was playing lately was Black Ops 2. You know, I thought it was Metal Gear Solid 2 that would actually predict the future, but it's actually
Oh, never mind.
like Vtuber. You probably wouldn't care all that much. And that's where I'm thinking a lot of the actual AI generated stuff you're about to see in the next couple months, maybe the next year, is headed to, okay? Right now, some of the most popular creators in the world are people like Asmongold and whatnot. And it's not really going to be that difficult to replace people like that or talking heads, even me, let's be completely honest, with an AI that can absolutely talk or distribute whatever kind of information anybody wants within seconds. It takes me hours to put a video together, right? To talk about something, to have an interest in something, to edit it together. It takes an AI one prompt and just the ability for it to generate on a cloud of different servers, all to do the same, right? If you're talking about internet content being replaced by synthetic stuff as opposed to real creators, it's just a simple matter of the fact that obviously those real creators could never output the same level of content regardless of how easy their content is to make or how difficult it is, when all it takes is an AI a prompt and maybe a few minutes to a few hours at best. But to go back to this clip, right, what's scary about this is obviously one actual senator from the Philippines, Ronald Bato de la Rosa, actually ended up sharing this around thinking that it was real. And obviously, there were some points that were called out. For instance, the license plate on this rickshaw didn't make any sense. The logo on this kid's shirt didn't make any sense. That sign in the back didn't make any sense. And what the fuck is going on with this rickshaw over here? Obviously, there are tells, but not enough for the average person to start getting, right? It used to be funny when we were laughing at Will Smith eating spaghetti, because obviously I think even a blind person could have told that one apart, but not when it comes to stuff like this. So again, the reason why I wanted to have this range of conversation is not to talk about the over AI generation of the internet. That's a problem that's going to happen regardless of whether you want it to want it to happen or not. But the problem is when like misinformation or like actual politicians share around crazy shit. Now we live in crazy times right now. There's a lot of war going on everywhere. And I'm sure, like many of you who are my age, I'm sure you always are inundated with posts on social media where there's like a new missile attack somewhere or like a new war crime happening somewhere. And it's kind of disgusting, in my opinion, to almost question everything, right? Like, not that questioning everything is bad, but every time you see a tragedy on the internet, you have to wonder, is this even real footage? Is this AI generated? Like, how do I even tell what's real and what isn't anymore? That's the scary part about it. Even if you extrapolate it, like to get really scary, I don't even think that any of you guys watching my videos are real. I don't even think any interaction that I'm having online for the last couple months is actually even real anymore. I really do think that, you know, if there was a case to be made that the entire internet has been replaced by fake interactions and bots and AIs and engagement farmers from parts of the world that we're never going to see or never even going to hear about, yeah, this is where it's at, man. I mean, that's the internet. You know, back in the day, before the era of social media, I really felt like the people that I talked to on, you know, MIRC, the people that I engaged with on forums were real individuals, right? Even when it comes to platforms like Twitter, right, which introduced revenue sharing, Elon Musk actually put a group of 8 people out of Hanoi in Vietnam into a lawsuit because they programmatically posted computer-generated content to a network of inauthentic X profiles set up using stolen identities to engage in coordinated platform manipulation. So again, these people were basically abusing the Twitter like payout system to basically earn a crazy wage where they lived. But it's not just these guys that you have to worry about. Half the people that I've seen on the platform that are constantly rage baiting, engagement farming, there's a pretty good chance that the person that claims to be from the United States is probably some random guy from a village in India where earning $100 on X is better than finding any regular job in their area. And all they really do is benefit off of misinforming or making people just angry for the sake of it. And again, this AI stuff can either be used for, again, innocuous purposes like making AI ASMR, all the way to the most evil ends, where we've seen people utilizing AI to generate, like, of course, CSAM or actual illegal content. Now, you might be like, man, maybe these AI companies will put in safeguards, right, Muda, so that we can't generate illegal shit. That's not even true. There are companies like Tencent that have basically released their entire AI models like Hunyuan Video literally out for the world to try. So you see all these AI videos that are generated and they look pretty damn good. I'm sure some of these types of AI videos will probably end up making it into Hollywood or like on YouTube. Hollywood? And the thing is, it's completely available for you to try right now on your computer. And you want to know how I know? It's because I've done it. Now, I'm not going to guide you through the exact ways on how to do this, but literally on a tool known as Comfy UI, I was able to absolutely download a few models off the internet completely for free. So if you go over here, you can browse tons of templates. So you can browse things like video generation. So you can use WAN, you can use that, which Hunyuan Video right over here. You can even engage, from what I understand, I think VO2 is actually on here at some point. I have to exactly find it. But there's plenty of these video models available. There's tons of image generation models that are available. And of course, obviously, there's upscaling stuff. And the thing is, with these video models, the scary part is you can actually customize these open source models to remove the safeguards off of them. And then you can use these to generate AI videos completely locally. So for instance, it took me 488 seconds to make this 5-second clip on my 4090. So to show you what it looks like, all right, I'm gonna hit play right over here, and it's not terribly impressive, but again, it's just a skyline that's drifting. And mind you, this is without connecting to a server. This is literally just generated on my actual local hardware. When I fed it a prompt like a whale flying through a nebula while in space covered in flames, it generated this image right over here, a video. Now obviously this does not look like a fucking proper whale. I don't know what's going on with the eyes, but for local generation, it's actually not too terribly bad. Obviously, it required several minutes for this to happen on a 4090, so you can imagine why AI is kind of locked behind a lot of these big companies through like these web clients, because typically you'll need a pretty strong system to generate any kind of video, especially videos that are as good as the AI ASMR. That costs a lot of money to generate, and it's insane how much money that we as a society are burning on AI stuff right now. Not even just the money, but just the environmental nonsense associated with it too. There's a great game on Steam that I was playing called Face Miner that was a pretty good, accurate understanding of like how bad AI can be down the future. It's a game where you make a lot of money by having an AI automate through like facial scanning, and in order to make things better down the road, you have to purchase more invasive hardware. You have to purchase more heavy hardware. You have to buy better like energy production capabilities. You have to find a way to offset your carbon footprint, and eventually, at the end, the Earth burns to a fucking crisp because ultimately we're just using this software not necessarily to better our life in any capacity, but just to do dog shit like this and basically consume resources with no real tangible benefit. And to go back to that model, Hanyuan Video, what you can also do with it is Hanyuan Video Avatar, where you literally can absolutely run these avatar level generations on, of course, local GPUs with only 10 gigabytes of VRAM. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached a point where, you know, the stuff you're seeing that's super impressive behind VO3, eventually down the road, that'll be open source to the hardware we have today. And realistically, that'll open up the floodgates even more. It's not a matter of do we shut down AI and like maybe find a way around it. You absolutely can't shut down anything, okay? This is not a Pandora's box that I think even companies like ChatGPT, or sorry, OpenAI in that case, or Google or anybody expected. Everyone in the world, especially the biggest tech companies, are producing AI models at an unprecedented rate. And those AI models, whether they're facing some level of model collapse down the road, or whether they're inbreeding to a point because they've ate through so much human data that maybe it's not going to be easy to keep things going, the less and less humans there are generating data for these AIs to constantly consume and learn from, right? And of course, there's always talks about synthetic training data, but without any human beings, these AIs don't really do anything on their own. They're not there to innovate or think on their own. They're just basically regurgitating what human beings are individually creating through their own actual sentient creativity. But to go back to this, downloading software like this, where you can basically generate avatar like human beings talking, and you can give them certain emotions, and you can take the safeguards off here and basically create any kind of stuff, makes it so that trusting any material going forward is just not possible anymore, guys. I really do think that the internet is at a point where collapse is definitely not off the table. You know, I've talked about things like ad block, I've talked about like sustainability of the internet. But the more and more you have people creating constant AI slop like this just to engagement farm and produce money off the internet is going to be the ultimate death knell. There's going to be a point where we're not going to have enough bandwidth to just constantly have people shitting out 40 to 50 videos or like pieces of content a day and flooding every single website. Ironically speaking, the only way away from this kind of disgusting like internet future that we have is probably the dark web, you know, the last bastion of real, true anonymity and actual human freedom. Where at least if the interactions aren't as high as something like YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, at least, you know, when I'm interacting with at least 100 people on there, it really feels like they're real individuals. I mean, how often do you communicate with an actual person on the internet, right? You know, a couple like years ago, I was looking at one project a YouTuber made where they made a AI out of 4chan, right? Like they took 4chan data, basically fed it into a chatbot, trained it, and unleashed that onto 4chan. And 4chaners thought that they were actually arguing with somebody real. You know, when it came to projects like Reddit recently, and I talked about this, there were entire Reddit boards that were infiltrated by a university where people were discussing with an actual AI on r/changemyview. And nobody knew this until the very end. It was a serious breach of ethics. And again, it makes you wonder if every single person you're talking to on the internet is actually real. Am I real? Are you real? What is actually real anymore? I really feel like the internet has gone from this place where human beings have connected.
अचानक से existential crisis mode में चले गए हम लोग. Give it a second. भाग यहाँ से दिमाग खराब। हाँ। What is the point? There is no point. मुझे अभी अपना चेंजेस को पुश करना है। ग्रेट। पब्लिश ब्रांच। व्हाट? ये ब्रांच अभी तक पब्लिश नहीं। व्हाट काइंड ऑफ बुलशिट इज दिस? बुलशिट। चलो चलो यूनिटी जल्दी खुलो। चलो चलो यूनिटी जल्दी खुलो। हाँ ग्रेट। अचानक से जिस दिन मुझे चिल मारना है उसी दिन सब लोग मैसेज करके मुझे क्यों पूछ रहा है कुछ करने के लिए? What? Core concept, level design, list of power-ups, list of obstacles, game economics. Uh, I am not eager to see my progress, that's for sure. क्योंकि I feel like there hasn't been a progress. But what do I know? Huh? Hmm. Finally, there. Main branch, new original branch, switch branch, level 1 to 5. Haven't fixed a lot of things, but yeah. assets. ये कितना सारा assets है वो? ओके, ये सब माइनस क्यों? अच्छा मैंने हटा दिया, मतलब लोकेशन चेंज कर दिया। ये सब लाइब्रेरी को गिट इग्नोर में डालेंगे हम लोग। इग्नोर। ओ, ये इतना जल्दी इग्नोर कैसे हुआ? और ये सब भी इग्नोर। डैम भाई, इतना जल्दी इग्नोर कभी नहीं हुआ है। लाइक डैम। देन फेच ओरिजिन, कमिट। एक सेकेंड, इसमें तो आधा एसेट्स चेंज है ही नहीं। वेट अ सेकेंड। डिस्कार्ड चेंजेस, यूजर सेटिंग्स, इतना कम एसेट्स चेंज हुआ है? मैं नहीं मानता भाई, कुछ तो गड़बड़ा है। कमिट, पुश। वैसे भी ब्रांच में ओ माय गॉड, चीफ गेस्ट आ गए। क्या ये चीफ गेस्ट की आवाज थी?
हेलो।
एम आई हेलुसिनेटिंग? चीफ गेस्ट
अबे
आ गए।
यार एक सेकंड।
अरे, इनका अलग बाप रे, इतना बड़ा डिस्कॉर्ड रिएक्टिव। कहाँ है कहाँ
क्या?
है कहाँ है?
हाँ, आ गया मैं। चल,
ये चीफ गेस्ट आ गए, लेट्स गो।
इनवाइट कर रहा हूँ, ज्वाइन क्यों नहीं कर
अरे
रहा तू?
अरे
खुला ही नहीं हुआ
अरे
तेरा।
अरे
अरे क्या
अरे
आदमी है भाई,
अबे अबे
इतनी देर से बैठे हैं। अजीब है।
अरे, मैं अभी अभी बंद किया और अभी आ गया ये बंदा। नाइस।
लायर।
जल्दी खुल जल्दी
लेट्स गो
खुल।
देन।
जल्दी खुल जल्दी
आई
खुल।
गेस फोर्टनाइट वाली स्पीड यहाँ नहीं है तेरी है।
हाँ तो ये फोर्टनाइट नेटिव नहीं है ना ये गेम, मतलब क्या
बस
बोल रहा हूँ मैं?
स्पीड नहीं है बस।
हाँ स्पीड नहीं है, उतनी स्पीड नहीं है। जल्दी खोल जल्दी खोल। ये रहा, प्ले। ऑलराइट, तो ये काम कर रहा है, इसलिए नहीं काम कर रहा। नाइस। अरे बाप रे, इतना बड़ा मुंह है अभिलक्ष का। इसको चेंज करो।
इनवाइट कर रहा हूँ, ज्वाइन कर।
हाँ हाँ, साउंड अलर्ट। अरे कहाँ है, दिख नहीं रहा ये रहा। ले कंटिन्यू।
शरद,
क्या हुआ, मेरी आवाज नहीं आ रही?
तेरा नेट खराब है क्या?
मेरा पिंग यहाँ कम आ रहा था, मेरा पिंग यहाँ कम क्यों
आ रही है तेरी आवाज, आ रही है तेरी आवाज।
देख अभी 9 पिंग दिखा रहा, जैसे मैं डिस्कॉर्ड वाला, पर डिस्कॉर्ड जब नहीं खुला हुआ था तो मैं रेड में दिख रहा था
हाँ,
पिंग। ये धोखेबाज है, सब धोखेबाज है यहाँ पे।
वो इसलिए दिख रहा था रेड में पिंग, क्योंकि तेरा पिंग हाई आ रहा था।
वेल वो समझ रहा हूँ मैं। दारीरा। हम्म, तुरुरुरुरुरु। हे, अब हम लोग शिनोबी
स्किप
बनेंगे।
करो इसको।
कैसे करते हैं, कैसे स्किप
नहीं
कैसे
करता
होता है?
है,
Where are we? They really
नहीं
are
होता।
stealing our ideas.
So this isn't the story you submitted?
No. I wrote this a couple years
ए, बहुत कम आवाज है,
क्या
आवाज
कर रहा
बढ़ाओ,
है?
आवाज बढ़ाओ, आवाज बढ़ाओ। हाँ।
ago.
Okay. What's it about?
Revenge.
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 Well, that sounds dangerous. And what is this?
Revenge. तो अभिलक्ष तेरे पास एक whip है।
Oh!
What are you
It's a
gonna
gravity whip.
What are you doing up there?
What the white people did.
do? क्या?
What kind of a revenge story is this?
It's very simple and straightforward. We are cyber ninjas hunting down the boss of the SRI crime syndicate.
In what world is any of that simple?
In my.
Let's just go through the story and find the glitch, okay?
I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah. Yay. Oh, attack.
So what do I do with this whip? It's your weapon. It doesn't look like a weapon.
चलना,
Read it with
काम कर अपना।
कोई
अबे
मैं तुझे
पागल,
मार सकता हूँ। अरे माफ कर दो सर।
करो तो।
सर अरे रुक जाओ सर, माफ कर दो। मैं करता हूँ। ये क्या है? अच्छा, तार काट दी, तारे काट दी सर, माफ कर दो।
चलो आओ।
Cold
साला,
वापस कैसे?
मैं क्या करूं यहाँ पे?
तू नहीं कर
तुझे
सकता था
कुछ
ये
कर-
ग्रेविटी वाला चीज?
I don't think so. अच्छा, नहीं कर सकता मैं।
अच्छा, इस पे चढ़ना है क्या मुझे? वेट अ सेकंड।
कुछ करना उसको। हाँ,
ये काम किया। अब शायद तुझे कुछ करना है। इसको लेके आ मेरे पास लेके आ मेरे पास। मेरे को कूदना इसके ऊपर। ये चल, लेके चल।
वो आएगा। मरना मत।
आई एम अ प्रो। तो हेलो देयर। ये क्या? अरे सर माफ करो, कर रहा हूँ।
जल्दी कर,
अब क्या
जल्दी कर, बोला ना।
तुझे करना है? अच्छा, तुझे ये सब चीजें हटानी है ऐसे। अरे मार दिया।
Hey, no TKing.
जल्दी कर।
TKing क्या?
To elaborate on this story? Take
Oh,
her,
अरे
take her down, get out. When you say take her down, what are you suggesting?
तो तू तो आ ही सकता है।
assassination.
Oh dear.
पीछे कहाँ देख रहा है? आगे।
अरे ये क्या? अरे
आगे चल।
एक
डिस्ट्रैक्ट
सेकंड,
नहीं होना।
सर जी इतना ना।
थोड़े मारूंगा तेरे को।
Stop that!
ब्लैक है ना तू?
अरे मैं ब्लैक का हूँ। करना क्या है?
मेरा काम है।
और अब मेरा। Let's go. Oh, ये क्या हो रहा है?
समथिंग
शीशा तोड़ो।
अच्छा मैं समझ गया क्या करना।
ये क्या हो रहा है?
अच्छा नहीं, उनको ब्लॉक करना है किसी का ना। ये कहीं मारना है क्या? अच्छा वो
और उससे क्या होगा?
तुझे जाना पड़ेगा शायद उधर।
हाँ मुझे देखने दे एक सेकंड।
अबे मैं उधर मार रहा था।
क्या मुझे उसके ऊपर चढ़ के जाना है?
मैं ट्राई करूं?
कर।
कर
साले।
छोड़ दो। मैंने अरे वो तेरे कांटेक्ट पे फटा है वो, मैंने कुछ नहीं करा।
करना क्या है?
रुक जा। तेरा ट्रायंगल दिख तो रहा है तेरे को तेरी स्क्रीन पे।
हाँ पर करना क्या है उससे? इतना रेंज नहीं है। मैं ट्राई तो किया कूद के वहां जाने का।
तुझे शायद स्वॉर्ड फेंक के मारनी है।
अबे इतना दूर नहीं जा सकता मैं। देख मैं कितना ट्राई किया हूँ।
मैं कह रहा हूँ पहले तू स्वॉर्ड को थ्रो कर सकता है क्या?
नहीं उतना दूर नहीं थ्रो कर सकता। जो तू सामान उठाता है उसको वहां फेंक।
I always wanted one of these.
क्या?
जो तू सामान उठा रहा है उसको कहीं और फेंकने की कोशिश कर। मतलब जहाँ पे मेरा ट्रायंगल दिखा रहा है वहां पे फेंक।
ओके
कुछ तो होगा यार।
हम नेट पे नहीं देखेंगे, हम खुद फिगर आउट करेंगे।
तो मैं कहाँ देख रहा हूँ? मैं तो इसके ऊपर इंटरेक्ट भी नहीं कर सकता। मैं इसके पास थ्रू आ रहा है।
अब आजा तू मर ले आगे मेरे से पहले।
हाँ, ये नहीं हुआ। ओ पहुंच गया मैं।
देखा
मैं पहुंच गया।
देखा मतलब बात थोड़ा काम। हाँ
मार।
एक सेकंड रुक।
कुछ इसका साउंड तो ठीक ही है। डायलॉग साउंड बढ़ाना था। मैं सोचूं उनकी आवाज थोड़ी कम आ रही है। सही है सही है। वेल अब तो मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता इस सिचुएशन में। um, so
तो मैं अच्छा मैं ऐसे ही आ जाऊँ?
हाँ क्योंकि टूट गया। नाइस। अरे ये तो गलत बात है। देख मैं कहाँ हूँ।
दिख रहा है मुझे। तोड़ इसको।
वेल ये बहुत ही अजीब है देखने में। ये क्या हुआ?
मर गया। तुझे वो उसको मारते रहना है शायद। मार उसको एक बार मार।
जा।
हाँ अब अगले वाले को मार।
अच्छा
ओह।
ठीक है।
Easy.
Yay.
This gravity shift situation won't spiral out of control, will it? Yeah, about that. Because I get bad motion sickness.
Oh, मैं आ गया तेरे
You'll be all
पास।
right.
ये क्या हो रहा है? ओह वापस कर। पूरा घुमाना।
लेफ्ट में देखना।
ठीक है अब राइट वाला। Nice.
very simple and straightforward. Yeah. But damn, what a view.
तू क्यों रुक गया? आजा आजा। अरे अरे ज्यादा जल्दी कूद गया। वो गाड़ी हिलता है। हाँ उस गाड़ी को ऊपर तो आने दे भाई। तेरी आवाज नहीं आ रही वैसे। होपफुली तुझे पता होगा।
ओह
देख ये गाड़ी भी मूव करता है। रुक जा।
So, how do you think this simulation works? What do you mean? Well, considering that Raider wants to extract all of our ideas. Yes. Does this mean we'll go through all of them?
Not sure. But as long as the glitch keeps messing with the machine, I'm ready for whatever.
Agreed.
ओ ये क्या हुआ? कुछ हो भी रहा है इससे? अच्छा तू खड़े हो हाँ।
Woo!
और अब बात रही मेरी तो
वापस करना पड़ेगा बड़ा।
मैं उस पे एम क्यों नहीं करता? मेरे पे वो ट्रायंगल वाला आइकॉन क्यों नहीं आ रहा? हाँ अब आएगा। नाइस। अब तुझे मेरी मदद कर। मैं तेरा राइट
आ रहा हूँ पूरा।
अच्छा फिर को भाई ये 90 डिग्री दिमाग खराब कर रहा है। एक सेकंड और भी। अबे तेरे को मुझे लेके जाना है।
अच्छा आगे जाना है।
और नहीं तो क्या मैं वही सोचूं मैं ये जंप कैसे करने वाला हूँ।
जाना
मैं करता हूँ ये जंप। ये क्या है?
तुझे कुछ करना है मेरे लिए।
Let me just borrow this.
एक्चुअल लोग हैं उसमें। वो मैं इसको चला सकता हूँ गाड़ी को। आ जाएगा चढ़ जा।
एक सेकंड रुक आ रहा हूँ मैं।
कहाँ रुका हुआ हूँ? ए मेरी गड्डी में आ गया तो। अरे
अरे वहाँ बच गया।
बच गया। अब मैं कैंसिल कर सकता हूँ स्टॉपली। नाइस।
Pop the hatch.
Pop the hatch.
एक सेकंड रुक।
मुझे कर। Nice. अरे acid.
ओह
Wow. Smells like my gym bag in here. Where the hell do you work out? I usually go for a swim. It's good for your joints.
Hey.
जॉब।
ओ ये क्या है? वो देख ड्राइवर है। हेलो देयर ड्राइवर। ए गाड़ी चलाने दे। गाड़ी चलाने दे मेरे को। ओके। अरे ज़्यादा ऊपर कूद गया। ये हटाइए ज़रा अभी तक। Nice.
अरे
थोड़ा जल्दी कर लो। चल ये वाला अब मैं ये तोड़ूंगा और इससे क्या होगा?
You're good to go.
You're good to go? हैं?
ऐसा मेरे को बोली क्या?
हाँ राइट में यस अब मैं ये चढ़ सकता हूँ और अब वो कर सकता हूँ ये
Let me guess. You're from the city.
Yeah. Born and raised.
Why would anyone want to live in the city? It's so loud and dirty.
The countryside would bore me to death.
And the light pollution? It dims all the stars at night.
Stars are overrated.
I feel like stars are overrated. Stars are yes, Wesley.
Come on! It won't budge!
Step back. Stop. Hands above your heads.
What now? Just follow my lead. We're gonna fight our way through this.
चलो अभिलाष लड़ना है
What were you expecting? We're cyber ninjas.
Suspect is in debt with the SRI. Lethal force is authorized.
Lethal force!
क्या oh
Let's take him out! What? This guy! Incoming reinforcement!
अरे मैं क्या करूँ मरियो मत
कुछ जल्दी आना पड़ेगा थोड़ा।
अरे मैं गलत कंट्रोल्स लेकर रखा हूँ यार मैं गलत कंट्रोल्स ही दबा रहा हूँ आदत नहीं है मेरे को अरे साला
Turret! Watch out!
अरे मेरी हेल्थ बड़ी लो है।
Brutality!
ये टरेट कौन चला रहा है? तुझे करना है कुछ इसके लिए शायद। करना क्या हमें?
मैं तो उससे उतना रेंज ही नहीं है मेरा कि मैं कुछ कर सकूं। ओ एक सेकंड मुझे ये करना है। इससे क्या होगा? ओ मार तोड़ उसको तोड़।
तुझे क्या करना है? वापस कर दो तूने पहले करा।
निकाल ले मार उसको। नाइस।
वापस। क्या हो गया? वापस कर। वापस।
तो हम लोग कहाँ गिर रहे हैं?
तू बता तू कूदा।
explaining. Come on, let's progress the story.
Mio? What is that?
Oh,
It's not a part of my story, that's for sure.
ये क्या है?
It doesn't look like a glitch.
No. More like a portal or
उसके
something.
अंदर sand है.
I wonder where it goes.
Sand dunes.
We should avoid the risk of getting even more lost in here.
But couldn't it be worth exploring?
I think
Who knows,
twice
we
over
might
here.
find
That.
some answers.
Or it might be a trap.
Or something useful.
Well, choice तो नहीं दिख रही मुझे. एक मिनट, choice थी क्या हमारे पास और मैं बस चला गया उसके अंदर.
हाँ.
Fascinating.
ये हम लोग fantasy में आ गए.
Great.
ये हम uncharted में आ
And
गए.
now we're stuck.
They weren't kidding when they said extracting all of their ideas.
So we're back in one of your stories again?
Yes